This year marks my second anniversary since I left the United States to move to Mexico. In 2023, I moved to Mexico City, and after a brief amount of time, I quickly realized that there was a gap in quality skincare treatments for skin of color, especially deeply melanated skin. I began taking clients in my apartment building and quickly grew my clientele. I then realized it was time for me to make the leap and move into my own studio space. And this year, I am celebrating my 1-year anniversary of Skin by Corinne. In this video, I wanted to introduce the launch of my YouTube channel, as well as share some insights in my first year of doing business in Mexico City. One of my goals this year, 2025, is to be a little bit more intentional about outsourcing some of the work that I do here in the studio. As you might imagine, as a solo entrepreneur and business owner, I've been doing most things on my own for the past year. So at the beginning of January of this year, I closed my studio just to do a little bit of deep cleaning and reorganizing of the space. Closing up shop for a week might seem a little crazy for a business owner, but I felt it was necessary in order to help reorganize my space and to prepare for one of the first employees that I wanted to hire in 2025, and that was cleaning personnel. I wanted to make sure that when this individual came into the space that it was easy for them to navigate and help me maintain the organization of the studio. One of my next projects is to begin outsourcing some of this laundry. As you might imagine, running a studio, I create a lot of dirty laundry, and what I've been doing so far is lugging it to and from my apartment, and that has gotten old and tiring very quickly. So I will be hiring a laundry service hopefully by the end of this month. But this is just another one of the ways that I am trying to do a better job of outsourcing for peace of mind. The goal here is to relinquish a little bit of control, as well as to utilize my own time and energy in a more efficient and effective way. This way, I can be more efficient with the time that I do have and spend that time enjoying doing the things that I do like, which is spending time with my clients and doing their services. In my first year of business, like most business owners, I was doing everything, and quickly found that it was both tiring and that I was burning myself out. While I don't always mind doing things like mopping floors and doing laundry, it's getting to a point for me and my business where those things don't make sense for me to spend my time on anymore. When I consider my other goals for 2025, I really want to spend more time doing things that are going to help grow my business, bring in more clientele, and diversify my revenue streams. When it comes to starting a business, a lot of times we jump right into thinking about how we're going to get clients and customers. But for me, my first step was making sure that I was anchored in community. It was important to be a part of a community that would offer both support, encouragement, and insights into starting a business as a foreigner in a new country. My business is 100% built on word of mouth and client referrals. I have yet to create a marketing strategy. I've tried a few times, but in the end, I found myself relying on community groups such as on Facebook and WhatsApp to really help promote my business. I started by just sharing about my experience and expertise in the many networks and community groups that I was in on Facebook and WhatsApp. And when clients did come, I of course asked for their feedback and encouraged them to leave reviews in the community groups in which they were a part of. I mostly use WhatsApp because it's a great way to build trust and for people to get a hold of you directly. I'm a part of a lot of WhatsApp groups, and it's easy to share my services in a way that feels natural and authentic. It feels less salesy and direct because I already have a bit of rapport with many of the groups that I'm in. Building community also helped me navigate challenges of being in a new country and starting a business for the first time. In addition to having great feedback and community support, I had a lot of anecdotal evidence to keep me encouraged and focused on this entrepreneurial journey. For starters, I had wind under my wings from leaving the US and moving to Mexico all by myself. In moments of doubt and frustration, I just reminded myself that if I could do that, if I could leave my home and all that I knew and move to a new country, that I could do anything. I also looked at other immigrant communities as inspiration, both in the US and Mexico. And looking at these communities, I was reminded that things didn't have to be perfect to get started. Funny story, as I was checking out locations for this studio, I happened across a Korean snack shop that's actually very popular, that's not too far away from here. As I was checking out, I noticed that the line had grew both inside and outside. And the lady who was ringing me up, her Spanish was, I would say, pretty much equivalent to mine. And we had this brief moment where we were kind of misunderstanding each other. She said "sesenta," but meant "setenta," and we just had this shared bond, if you will, of just having a bit of a hard time with our Spanish. And it reminded me that things don't have to be perfect. Here I was in this beautiful store with a fellow immigrant who was seeing great success, who was having a great experience and was having a lot of customers come through her shop despite her level of Spanish. And it just reminded me that things don't have to be perfect. My Spanish will get better. And so long as you're delivering a quality service, people will come. And I just anchor myself to those moments when I'm feeling doubtful or feeling frustrated or when things aren't going the way that I intended. Just remind myself that immigrant communities do this all the time, all over the world. They pick up, leave their homes, move to a new country, set up shop, and oftentimes see a lot of great success. And I just remind myself, if they can do it, I can do it. Reflecting on this year as a solo entrepreneur and solo esthetician has taught me so much about resilience, growth, and community. I'm so grateful to all of my clients and my community for all their help, support, and encouragement over this past year. I also want to give a special thanks and shout out to my friend, client, / partner in crime, Linda, who you see in some of the B-roll, helping me with my studio reset and deep clean this past week. Linda is a professional organizer, and she just helped to keep me calm when I was feeling overwhelmed and frustrated throughout this process. And I'm just so grateful for her patience and her dedication to me, my business, and this space. So Linda, if you see this, thank you. I'm about a week out from the studio refresh, and I must say I feel so good in my space right now. It feels peaceful, cozy, calm, and most importantly for me, it feels functional. I'm no longer tripping over cords and the like. And overall, it just gives me this renewed sense of excitement for both the business and for what's to come in the new year. Speaking of which, one of my next projects is going to be the rolling out of a fun new service here in the studio. So be sure to stay tuned for that. There's more to come on that and many other treatments that I plan to introduce into a studio in the new year. Thank you for sticking around. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like and a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe for more behind the scenes content of my skincare studio, for business tips, skincare content, and just my overall life and journey here in Mexico City. Until the next time. We're done. I haven't found this. I'm done.